welcome back to my channel, Be For Real. I am Britt. So how y'all doing? What y'all been up to? I've been a little busy, but I'm here though. So here I am back with another vegan recipe. If y'all are not familiar with the tour of Italy, famously known as Olive Garden, I went ahead and remade it. Here we have 3 pasta dishes. So basically Olive Garden, they are not stingy. Okay, they give you a little bit of everything with this joint. So we got vegan Parmesan, we have vegan lasagna, we got some vegan Alfredo in the mix. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all how I made this today. If you are not subscribed, be sure to click that button, turn those notifications on so you do not miss a beat, and we are going to go ahead and hop right into the video. So we are going to go ahead and get our pasta sauce popping. I of course like to make my own pasta sauce because I can A, control exactly what's going into it, and B, it is cheaper. So if you got a little bit of time and you don't mind making this simple recipe, it will save you some coin. Okay, we are all about saving coin over here. And it is flavorful. You can add your own spices and you can actually control exactly what you're putting into it. So keep in mind, I will have a full list of the ingredients as well as the measurements listed down in the description box below. So if you would like to whip this up in your free time, feel free to do so. Of course, you could buy your pasta sauce as well. So I just used my food processor to go ahead and chop the onion, the garlic, and the mushroom up. I was just being lazy. You don't got to do all that. So our onion and our garlic, we're going to saute down first. Saute that down for about a minute until the onion brown. I'm adding in the mushroom. I'm going to cook that for about another minute and a half, and then I'm going to toss all of that into our pasta sauce. So here in the pot we have 2 cans of 28-ounce crushed tomatoes, and this is the part that counts. You need to season your sauce to perfection, and I cannot give you an accurate measurement because you got it. This is instinct. This is all instinct. So when you see me shimmying, this is the shimmy of instinct. That's the best I could tell you. You don't want to overdo it with salt, but you don't want to underdo it with garlic, onion, herbs such as basil and things of that nature. You want to make sure that you are giving a nice flick of the wrist with these seasons, okay? But I will have a full list, of course, in the description box below. Now, I also want to talk about, and I'm going to pause it right here because I need y'all to understand where I'm coming from, okay? I do not cut the acidity of my tomato sauce with sugar, and I absolutely cannot stand that. Now, I understand we have tradition, you know, we have our own way of doing things, we have heritage. I get it. I grew up with my pasta sauce being cut by sugar as well. However, I hate it. I always hated it. I don't want sweet pasta sauce. I want to be able to enjoy the flavor of the tomatoes, enjoy the flavor of the herbs and the spices. I want to enjoy the flavor of the sauce. I do not want to taste a sweet pasta sauce, but that is just me, okay? So if you like to cut your pasta sauce with sugar, feel free. However, in this video, I'm going to show you that I cut it with almond milk, and that's just to bring the acidity down so it's not as tart. But I use 1 cup of almond milk. My advice would be that if you went with this method, to use a plant milk that is not strong in flavor. So here I'm using unsweetened almond milk if you decided to use this method. So now that I got that little PSA out of the way, we are going to go ahead and mix this up, get everything nice and combined and well incorporated. You are going to go ahead and let this simmer down for about 45 minutes on a low heat. After the 45 minutes, you want to go ahead and give this a taste, adjust any seasonings if necessary, and boom, you got yourself a pasta sauce. And now keep in mind, you can always make your sauce a day ahead of time. You do not want to be hungry and go ahead and be trying to make this sauce, and then you got to wait 45 minutes until the sauce simmers and the flavors marry together. And we all know that sauces especially are always good the next day. So I would recommend that if you are planning to make your own sauce, just go ahead and make it a day ahead of time. You know, set some time aside, make this real quick, and go ahead and let it simmer. Have it in the refrigerator. Next day, boom, you ready to go. Okay. So we are going to continue to build our sauce up. I am going to be using Lightlife beefless crumbles to go ahead and act as our meat for our pasta. So I'm just going to go ahead and brown this up for about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and break this down. I'm also going to season it up because you know you got to season at every step. Okay, so here you see me putting on garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of salt, some basil, and if it look like it's a lot, that's because it is. I don't play that. Okay, I don't over salt, but I do go heavy on onion and garlic powder because I definitely want to make sure those flavors are coming through on top of the garlic and onion I put in there. I don't play that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss our meat substitute right up into our pasta sauce. At this point, your pasta sauce should be popping. Okay, give it a little taste. Make sure it fits your taste buds. I personally like to add some spinach and some follow your heart mozzarella cheese on the end, but of course that is completely optional. It's up to you. So first on the list is our lasagna. This lasagna is bomb. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and salt some water, bring it to a boil, cook our noodles. These are just regular whole grain lasagna noodles that I got at my local supermarket. I'm going to cook them down till they're al dente. Now onto our ricotta cheese. So I'm using soaked cashews. I soaked them overnight. We're going to go ahead and squeeze 1 lemon up in there. We're going to get our herbs popping. We're going to do some oregano, some garlic powder, some basil, some black pepper. We're going to hook it up. A little bit of salt, you know, just to get it right. And then I'm going to go ahead and post that to a crumble. So what I will do is I'll post that with my food processor. If you don't have one, you can use a blender. It's cool. And then I'm going to go ahead, once that's down to a crumble, I'm just going to scrape the sides down. And then I'm going to add our plant milk, which I used cashew milk. So now onto the assembly of our lasagna. Let's get this popping. I'm just going to be taking some of our pasta sauce, placing it at the bottom of the pan. Then we are going to layer on our lasagna noodles. We're going to get the ricotta popping. Put the meat sauce back on. Y'all know. And I'm just going to continue those steps until I reach the top of the pan. And once I get to the top, I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of the follow your heart mozzarella cheese. I'm also going to add some follow your heart Parmesan cheese as well, just to top that off with a little bit of parsley to get it popping, you know, for the aesthetic. And then we're just going to pop that in the oven at 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. But listen, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek. Take me in your arms and hold me close. Y'all caught that? Okay, so moving right along to our next dish, our fettuccine Alfredo. I am whipping up the Alfredo here. I do want to admit that I was busy on the phone running my mouth when I was making this, and I completely forgot to go ahead and saute the onion and the garlic before I put it in the food processor. So please make sure you saute your onion and your garlic for at least 1.5 minutes, and then go ahead and throw it in the food processor. Okay, just want to let y'all know. So our soaked cashews are key. We are putting in a cup of soaked cashews. I'm also going to squeeze in about 1/2 of a lemon. I'm going to also throw in some nutritional yeast. This is what helps bring the cheesy flavor of the Alfredo. So I'm going to drop about 3 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast right up in there. We are also going to give it a little bit of salt, a shimmy of some pepper, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pour in 3/4 cup of cashew milk. That's what's going to help get our Alfredo at the consistency it needs to be. And then you're just going to mix this on high until everything is completely blended and broken down. So with our fettuccine Alfredo, I will be adding mushrooms. Now, I typically don't eat my pasta this plain, but because I was doing a rendition, I'm just sticking to the script. So I'm just going to season the mushrooms up with some sesame oil and a little bit of coconut aminos. I'm going to cook that on medium heat for about 2 minutes. I just went ahead and threw in some of our Alfredo sauce with a little bit of vegan Parmesan cheese and some pepper. So I'm just going to let that thicken up a little bit. And then we're just going to toss our noodles in there. Go ahead and toss that around. And boom! You are done. This is very simple. This is a great weeknight dinner. If you just wanted something real quick, you can of course always store the Alfredo sauce to use for a later date. And you can of course always add a meat substitute or some added veggies if you would like. And so last but not least, onto the chicken parm. This was my absolute favorite dish out of the 3. I'm just setting up my station here. I will be using garbanzo bean or chickpea flour. I will also be using the vegan egg for our egg wash. you're just going to use 2 tablespoons of the vegan egg substitute along with about 3/4 cups of water. I don't want it to be too thick because it is for actually making scrambled eggs, and that's not what we're doing today. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit more water so it is a little thinner. Just going to go ahead and flick our wrist on that. And in our last bowl, we will just be having some breadcrumbs. I couldn't not add some additional seasonings, so here you just see me adding some paprika, chili powder, garlic, and onion, of course. These are the meat substitutes that I'm using by Gardein. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that in our flour mixture right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and place it right up in the egg. You know, this should be real familiar for everybody. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and throw it right in our breadcrumbs to properly coat our little meat substitute cutlet, and boom, it should look just like this. I am going to go ahead and repeat these steps for the remaining pieces in the bag. I'm just going to take a little bit of oil and go ahead and brown these on both sides for about 1.5 minutes, and we're just going to get these browns just like that, y'all. So this is the best part because we are moving right along. We are going to get our baking pan, toss our little crisp chicken little patties right up in there. We're going to toss our pasta sauce on top. We're going to get our cheese popping. I'm using the Follow Your Heart mozzarella cheese throughout this entire video. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on, as well as some vegan Parmesan cheese. And we're just going to throw these in the oven at 375 degrees for 10 minutes. They don't take long at all. And boom, we are done. Like, I need y'all to understand that this plate is just sitting here showing off so effortlessly on a budget, and it's 100% vegan. I'm about to call Olive Garden because I'm gonna need them to know that now they need to put some vegan options on the menu. It's possible, okay? No excuses, all right? But I thank you guys as always for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, please hit that button. Of course, like, comment, and share this video. I thank you guys again, and I will see y'all in my next video. In the kitchen, wrist twisted like it's stir fry. Whip it in the kitchen, wrist twisted like it's stir